Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to be doing activity one, which is synthesis reaction. So the first step is to measure 50 milliliters of white vinegar into a graduate cylinder and then pour it into a small cup. So we have our 50 milliliter graduate cylinder here. We have our distilled white vinegar. 50 milliliters of white vinegar poured into a small cup. So now we're going to measure the room temperature using the thermometer. And in here, it's actually about 30 degrees Celsius. So that information we would want to record in data table 1. We're going to place the thermometer and a rubber band on a paper towel. So as you can see, I've done that there. Can you go tell her to wait? Okay. While wearing protective gear, gloves, and we're going to tear the steel wool pad in half. So, mhm. So what I'm doing here, in order to just tear this in half, I'm just gonna, looks like it's not unfolding all the way out, so alright, and I'm gonna tear this in half. That's kind of hard. There it is. Okay. This half will be used for the comparison. Since we have a little more here, let's go ahead and use this half for our experiment. Now, we're going to place the other half of the steel wool in a cup containing the white vinegar and press gently down to completely submerge it in the vinegar. Keep the still submerged for 2 minutes. So we're just pressing that down there. So that's making sure that that's completely submerged there. Gonna use the other half of this paper towel to wipe our hands. And now we're going to start a timer to ensure that we've let that soak for 2 minutes. Okay, so something interesting while we're waiting for that to happen, it says vinegar does not participate in the synthesis reaction. In this procedure, vinegar strips away the protective coating of the steel wool pad and provides an acidic environment that accelerates the subsequent chemical reaction. So our next step, after we have the 2 minutes, just going to read it to you. We're not there just yet though. But we're going to remove the still from the cup and carefully squeeze the excess vinegar back into the cup. It also notes that you should keep the small cup of vinegar to use in activity 4. So you want to be sure and do that. So as I'm just thinking about it, one of the mishaps is that if you notice, I didn't have my timer out and ready. So not sure if it's more or less than 2 minutes, if it'll make a big difference, but that's something to be mindful of if you are going to repeat this experience. Okay, great. So we got our 2 minutes there. We're going to remove the still from the cup and carefully squeeze the excess vinegar back into the cup. So we just want to squeeze all of the excess vinegar out. Okay. And then we're going to wrap the damp steel wool piece around the bulb of the thermometer and secure it in place with a rubber band. So you want to make sure that's the bottom part. Make sure all the excess is out. And we're just going to wrap that around and then secure it with a rubber band. Okay, so place the steel wool wrap thermometer on the paper towel. And so far I've done that. Already our initial temperature, room temperature, was 30 degrees Celsius. Already I can see an increase, 31, 32, about 2 degrees. So we're going to make this, we're going to observe what happens. Again, you should have started a timer for 10 minutes. And then we're going to record the temperature of the steel wool at 5 minutes and 10 minutes. So, as I said, so far we've seen an increase. I'm interested to see what will happen at 5 minutes, if it will be the same. Okay. About 5 more seconds, and then we can record the initial temperature. Okay, so after 1 minute that we've clocked, it was at 30, it's now at 40. So we've already seen an increase of temperature to indicate that there has been some change. In some of the other experiments that we did, we definitely learned that something that's going to indicate a chemical change is an increase in temperature. And from this experiment so far, you're already seeing that happening just after the first minute. We're still going to go ahead and let the timer go. And then I will, at 10 minutes, I will photograph my observation. And we'll compare it to the wool we have here that was not submerged in vinegar. Just while the time's going, so the last couple steps after you photograph your observation, you want to remove the thermometer from the steel wool, rinse the thermometer and graduate cylinder with purified water. You want to discard the paper towel, the steel wool, and the rubber bands in the trash. You want to make sure to always discard anything you're using in experiments properly. Make sure they're getting in the right place. So, thank you for your time.